For nearly 4 decades, one man ruled Iran from the shadows. Unreachable, untouchable, invisible. He built bunkers deeper than subway systems, blindfolded his own officials, and vanished beneath a city of millions. The world believed he could never be found. But on a quiet morning in February 2026, that illusion shattered. Because somehow the CIA and Mossad did the impossible. They found him, and in less than 60 seconds, everything changed. This is the story of how the most protected leader in the Middle East was tracked, cornered, and eliminated in broad daylight. A story of intelligence, patience, and one fatal mistake. How did the CIA and Mossad hunt down Iran's supreme leader? And how did a man who spent decades hiding get exposed at the worst possible moment? To understand that, we need to go back to the beginning. For decades, Iran's supreme leader operated like a ghost. He wasn't just a political figure, he was the architect of Iran's global influence, funding militant groups, shaping regional conflicts, and driving nuclear ambitions. But after the 2025 conflict between Israel and Iran, something changed. He disappeared. Public appearances stopped. Meetings were cancelled. Even Iran's own leadership barely saw him. Instead, he retreated into a hidden world beneath Tehran, a network of underground bunkers and tunnels designed to survive anything. We're talking about facilities buried nearly 100 meters underground, deeper than military installations, deeper than nuclear sites. And getting there, even top officials were blindfolded for the final stretch. No one knew exactly where he was. That was the point. He had built the perfect hiding system. Or so he thought. But while he was disappearing, someone was watching. The CIA had spent months, quietly, patiently, mapping everything. His routines, his communication patterns, his movement windows. Because even the most paranoid man in the world still has habits. And those habits leave traces. At the same time, Mossad was running its own operation. And they had experience. They had already carried out precision strikes on high-profile targets across the Middle East. Each operation refined their strategy. Each success made them sharper. Together, the CIA and Mossad weren't just collecting intelligence, they were building a complete picture. A map of a man who wasn't supposed to exist in the open. Then something unexpected happened. Late February 2026, a high-level meeting was scheduled in Tehran. Not just any meeting. This one included Iran's most powerful military and political leaders, and for the first time in months. The CIA had high confidence intelligence that the supreme leader himself would be there. This was it. The perfect window. A single moment where the entire leadership could be in one place. But there was a problem. The meeting was scheduled in the morning, not at night, which meant the strike would have to happen in broad daylight. That's not how operations like this are done. But this wasn't a normal operation. This was a once-in-a-generation opportunity. And they took it. Behind the scenes, everything moved fast. Diplomatic talks collapsed, military coordination accelerated, and a massive operation was quietly set into motion. Operation Epic Fury, one of the largest joint operations ever conducted by the United States and Israel. The plan was simple, but incredibly complex. First, blind Iran, then strike with precision. At around 6 a.m. Israel time, jets took off. At the same time, American forces launched cruise missiles, rockets, and drones across the region. Their targets: air defense systems, radar, command centers. The goal was clear: make Iran unable to see what was coming. And then, deliver the strike. Everything depended on one thing. Was he actually there? And more importantly, was he deep enough underground? Because here's the reality. Some bunkers are simply too deep to destroy, even for advanced weapons. But on that morning, he made a mistake. A small one, but fatal. He wasn't in the deepest bunker. For reasons still debated, he chose a less fortified position. Maybe he felt safer during the day. Maybe he believed the timing protected him. Either way, that decision sealed his fate. At approximately 9:40 a.m. Tehran time, the strike hit. Multiple buildings were targeted simultaneously. Missiles slammed into the leadership compound. Israeli jets dropped dozens of precision bombs. Everything was synchronized, everything was calculated, and within just 60 seconds, it was over. The compound was gone. Dozens of top officials eliminated, military leaders, intelligence chiefs, decision makers, an entire command structure erased in a single moment. And at the center of it all, the supreme leader himself, gone. At first, denial. Iranian state media insisted he was alive, that everything was under control. But the truth couldn't stay hidden for long. By the next morning, confirmation. He was dead. And what followed was chaos. In some parts of Tehran, crowds gathered in mourning, chanting, crying, honoring the man they saw as a symbol. But in other parts of the city, people celebrated. Fireworks, dancing, statues falling. One moment, two completely different reactions. A country split in half, and a moment that would redefine its future. In the end, this wasn't just a military operation, it was a statement that no leader, no matter how powerful, no matter how protected, can stay hidden forever. The CIA and Mossad didn't just eliminate a target, they proved something far more unsettling. That in the modern world, disappearing is no longer enough, because somewhere, someone is always watching, and all it takes is one mistake to bring everything crashing down.